Well, the recent allegations of gang rape at the University of Virginia have rocked the college town and raised many questions about how sexual assaults on campuses are being handled. And after Rolling Stone magazine backtracked on its story, saying there were inconsistencies in the alleged victim's story, there are now growing concerns about how such a story may impact other victims from coming forward. And joining us now to talk more about this is psychotherapist Cindy Crane, who's going to help us bring some positive attention to this. And, you know, this is such a troubling story, but that is, if there is anything positive out of this, it's that the issue is being discussed and it's being brought to the forefront, because this has been going on for quite some time now.
That is exactly my point about this, and these are the kind of tweets that I'm getting about this subject too, is this issue of underreported rapes on campus has been going on for a very long time, and the problem of sexual assault and rape has been going on for a very long time at campuses, period.
Right. And I want to mention that prior to becoming a therapist, you worked very closely with victims of rape. And so give us a little sense of the crime, the issue at hand here. One of the things that I found interesting was that a lot of times the victims know who their attacker is.
That's right. And in fact, that's the thing that people might not recognize about rapes, is that very often the victims do know their partners. It's somebody in their life. And it's really very common for rape victims to not look like what you would expect. They may become very withdrawn and not be able to present all the facts because they're just overwhelmed, or even it's traumatized, can't even recall all of the facts exactly.
Cindy, why do you think that victims have a hard time coming forward and reporting the incident?
I think the main reason is what we just discussed. They know this person. It's their friend.
Right.
It's a family member. And bringing it back to campus, you know, or the college life, it's really hard in a culture where there's, you know, drinking and weed and other drugs. Sometimes women feel that they in some way participated, even if they can't recall all the facts or it was completely against their will.
Right, and this story out of UVA is tricky because, you know, now it presents this issue of those who are courageous enough to come forward, they may now scale back.
That's right. That's the controversy.
Right.
Is does this just further discourage victims from wanting to report? And on the surface, you would think yes, but I think it's actually bringing positive attention to the issue of how difficult it is for victims to report crime, and particularly this kind of crime on a campus.
And there's a lot of mixed reaction going on out there. We have a couple tweets that you received recently. The first one is from someone who says, I think Rolling Stone's reaction damaged the credibility of the victim and has, once again, made it difficult for other victims to come forward. Yeah,
exactly our point, right? It makes it tricky. And in fact, a statistic that's important to know from the Justice Department is that less than 5% of rapes on campus are reported, way below the national average, which is 40%, because of that reason, that it is so difficult to come forward with a crime like this. Right,
and the second one, real quick, I just want to mention, it says some victims may feel like this hurt them, but at the same time, it brought national attention to a serious issue, and that's the positive out of this, right?
Yes, and what I hope everyone takes away from this is that it is a crime to be assaulted and to be pushed against your will to do something you don't want to do. And though it's difficult as the victim to come forward, it is also a courageous thing, and I think it can be freeing. And it's an opportunity for us to say, no more of this. And if anyone has felt that they've been victimized, sexually assaulted from rape, please remember that you can reach out. And the number that we put up on the screen is 1-800-656-HOPE.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll link that to our website as well, myfoxcc.com. Cindy, thank you as always.
My pleasure.
And just a reminder, you can always talk to Cindy 24/7 on Twitter at Crane Therapy using the hashtag #TalkToCindy. Over to you guys.